So now we're firing people for having opinions and emotions and content and about Charlie Kirk and what happened. American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and then there's other people in the military, people in the workplace are now being targeted and fired because of their opinions and remarks on social media about Charlie Kirk. Now, that does not make any sense. That does not make any sense. You're not firing people because they're not doing their job well. You're firing people because they have an opinion and freedom of speech and freedom of expression. I think it is very wild, and it's very, very much going on a very dangerous path when you're starting to fire people over their sentiments and political opinions. Unreal. That's all.
Well, tonight, 2 Atlanta-based companies, they are disciplining employees over social media posts made after the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says a worker was fired after they made inappropriate comments yesterday. Children says that type of rhetoric is not acceptable for children's employees and violates its social media policy. The hospital didn't specify what exactly this post said. And Delta Airlines has suspended several employees for their post, also citing the company's media policy. Delta is among the highest profile employers to take actions amid these terminations, reviews, and disciplinary actions we're seeing across the country following online comments made in response to Kirk's assassination.
Yes, I have filed for unemployment. And yes, you can't just fire somebody because when they give a reason to unemployment that it was for political purposes, the company looks stupid. That's not a good reason to fire somebody. So those people will be eligible for unemployment.
One thing that this situation has shown, whichever side you fall on, I hope people have realized just because you feel strongly about something, just because you have an opinion on something, you don't have to share it with everybody. I know social media has everybody believing that they got to tell you their take. They got to give you their opinion. They got to voice how they feel, because if they don't say it, gosh darn it, who will? That's what people literally say. But you don't have to share your opinion on everything. I get it. If you're a content creator, you make content for a living and you are able to monetize it and you have no one who you have to answer to as far as an actual boss, have at it. Make your money, I guess. Share your thoughts and opinion, be controversial, be polarizing, do what you want to do. But when you work for a company that has rules, policies, company handbook that clearly states what their company standards are, their ethics, their values, their morals, the things that they stand on, and what they expect from you as an employee, you do not get that right to just voice your opinion however you want. And it's not protected under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. That's not how it works. I'm shocked that more people don't realize this, but clearly people don't, because all I keep seeing on the internet is people talking about how this is a violation of their First Amendment rights. No, you're talking about private businesses. And I don't mean to go off like this, but all I've been flooded with on my freaking timeline has been this Charlie Kirk stuff. I don't know what's in that man's heart. What one thing I do realize is this: just because you don't like what he says didn't mean that you had to then go on the internet and tell the whole world about it. Because guess what? Everybody doesn't feel like you. And so if you lost your job because you thought that you were going to be able to somehow get away with that, then joke's on you for being so narrow-minded with the bigger picture as far as understanding that's not how business works. That's not how life works. You don't get to just run around saying what you want about any topic. The one thing this situation showed me was that people don't realize that there are people who they work with each and every single day, and they're waiting for you to make a mistake. And these people served up that mistake on a silver platter. There are people who want your job because they're trying to move up the ladder. And you put it on a silver platter for them to be able to say, got them out the way. Now maybe I got a shot. And the more important your job is, the more you're going to have a responsibility for as far as upholding their values and what they stand for. And the less important your job is, the quicker they're going to be willing to get rid of you because you're easily replaceable.
I just got fired. Can I have you back?
You said I have to leave the premises like immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So guess I'll see you guys later. I'm fired. You guys take care. Good luck, okay? Kind of relief. You guys have a good one. Oh man, I feel good. I just got fired. And honestly, when they told me, I was like a little like, eh. But then after, I was like, fuck this. They're back there having their little chat together. The guy that let me go was trying to block me from saying goodbye to my coworkers right now. Like, he was like guarding them or something. And then that's when I was like, okay, bye. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you later. They let me go. They fired me. He looked all disappointed. But honestly, dude, I feel relieved. I feel very relieved. I mean, I'm gonna be fucked if I'm not gonna get unemployment, but fuck it, dude. As they were like having me sign my forms and shit and like terminating me. Wait, let me say goodbye to my friend Michael. Hi, Michael. I'm done. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I think the relief that I'm feeling is a good sign because I did not want to do my shift today anyways. Like, I had a bunch of number 1 lessons, and that's dealing with first timers, so fuck it, dude, I'm feeling good. I'm also shaking a little bit because I'm in shock, but whatever, dude, it is what it is. I'm gonna do me. Yeah, they were trying to be all nice about it and stuff, and professional, and they were like, you can keep the sweater and all the shirt and whatever, it's all yours. I'm just like, what the fuck do I need this shit for? But whatever, I'm free, dude. I'm free. And I think I'm just gonna start trying to do more of the things that I want to do and not worry about any other one else. That's one of my coworkers driving in the car, my ex-coworkers. He was pretty cool too. He would always like be like upfront and like just tell me how fucking draining the job was, and me and him were just both like fucking over the job. He's been working here longer than I have, so I'm just glad. I'm glad they let me go. It wasn't, I didn't quit on myself, or I made a mistake, but fuck it, I'm done. It's all cool. Wish me luck, y'all. I'll be posting more content. I know what, but I'm free.
I made some stupid comments about Charlie Kirk on the day that he was shot. I said some things on Blue Sky and on Threads that I'm sorry, not sorry for, but I said them and I deleted them when it was requested that I do so by my employer. And then today, on a weekend, I'm told that I am no longer employed at Microsoft. After 6 years, building the diversity, equity, and inclusion department from scratch, I lose my job because one of you, some random person, reports my posts to my employer, goes out of their way to find out where I work, and takes my job, takes my security away from me for a thought, for an opinion. And you talk about freedom of speech like you care about it, and you're just going to take my money, my life, my food off my plate because I don't like Charlie Kirk? That's not okay. It is not okay to target me because I felt joy that day. I can't help how I feel. I felt joy. That's me. That's what I believe. That's what I think of him. I can't help that. So I don't deserve a job?
If you say anything about Charlie Kirk online that your employer does not like and they fire you, there may not be much you can do about that. My name is Paige Sparks. I'm an employment lawyer, and this makes my eye twitch. Misstated all over the internet. You don't have an absolute freedom of speech against everyone for everything. Your constitutional rights, like the Bill of Rights, which includes the First Amendment freedom of speech, primarily protects you from the government. not against individual people or private entities. The U.S. Constitution limits the government's power. It is not meant to regulate private behavior in between people or in between businesses that have nothing to do with the government. I'll give you an example. If you make a public post online saying, fuck the government, a cop cannot show up at your door and arrest you for saying that. That is a violation of your First Amendment freedom of speech. As an employer, I'm a private entity. I have nothing to do with the government. So if my wonderful law clerk says, fuck Paige Sparks online on a public post, I could fire her for that and there's nothing she could do. There are, of course, some exceptions, like if a private entity is acting on behalf of the government, or if you are a municipal employee and technically you have a government entity employer. But in general, you only have the freedom of speech protected against the government, not other people. I have actually sued the government before for violations of freedom of speech. Speech does not have to be just spoken to be protected. Actions can be considered speech too, like burning the flag, or if you flash your lights to warn other people of a cop sitting on the side of the road, that is also protected speech. Comment to let me know what other questions you have about the law. If you see people saying this incorrectly online, now you know.
What the fuck are you supposed to do when you get fired? You just take it? You just take it like a man? I'm unemployed. What am I supposed to do now? Do I go home and goon? Like, guys, what do I do? Like, actually, like, what do you do when you get fired? What's the next step? Do you look for, obviously you look for a job, but like, I got no income now. I spent my last $300 on a parking ticket. That was on me. I did let it sit a little bit. It was like a $30 parking ticket. It went up to $300. I really don't want to talk about it, but what am I supposed to do, guys? Oh my god. This you know when they say like once you get to a point in adulthood where it's not enjoyable. I don't know who said adulthood was enjoyable. I'm just kind of, but like, what am my gas? I haven't got enough for gas, guys. Oh my god. What am I? Is this what I can't do this? I'm supposed to do this for the rest of my life? Like I can't. What am I supposed to do, guys? Please, someone put financial tips. Oh my god.
Everybody, meet Kara Harvey. She was a RN nurse at a children's hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. Kara thought it would be appropriate for her to make an inappropriate post about Charlie Kirk's unaliving. She said, F his kids and F his ancestors, especially the B who birthed him. I can't actually say the F word and the B word on here because, you know, it's social media. And I don't want my account to get banned. Kara was making approximately $33 to $42 an hour. That's about $69,000 to $87,000 a year. She threw it all away because she wanted to make an inappropriate post, thinking it was going to be okay. Kara was fired and she also lost her nursing license. The hospital said this type of behavior is unacceptable for a children's employee. Tell me what you think about it down below in the comments.
No one cares about your politics. Just do your goddamn job. Or lose your goddamn job. This is Keith, the law enforcement OG, and let's get into this. So, this is what happens when your ass rides the small bus when you was a kid. An Office Depot worker who refused to print flyers for the Charlie Kirk vigil, dismissing it as propaganda. Who are you to say? You work at Office Depot, fucking loser. Has been fired. Thankfully, and rightfully so. When you come to work, you come to work. Nobody cares about your personal political thoughts or your little agenda, especially working at Office Depot. Customers don't walk in to hear your opinion. They come in for a service, period. Think about this. Now, when I go to McDonald's, I want my goddamn fries hot. All right? I want them hot. I don't give a about your politics. I care about the job that you need to do, and that's making my fries hot. That's why this worker got their ass fired. Americans are tired of employees turning their workplace into a soapbox. Okay? You were hired to do a job, not to push your ideology. No one gives a about your ideology. If you can't separate the two, Don't be surprised when your ass is on the unemployment line. And by the way, don't forget to make my mother fries hot.
I want to sit here and act like I'm okay, but I'm not. I just got laid off, which really fucking sucks. But also, I'm taking it as a blessing in disguise. I'm grateful. Whatever happens, happens. But I'm just frustrated that they waited as long as they did to tell me. So, hope your day is going better than mine.
Episode 5 of Let's Make These People Famous for the vile things they have said about Charlie Kirk's unaliving. Because let's get one thing straight, I don't care what political party you are a part of, this is never okay. This is Megan Trammell, and she is a library technician for the Prince William County. She said him getting blank at a school as he is talking about school blank and how blank control isn't the answer will never not be funny to me. And spare me the pearl clutching, I don't care. This is Devin Cassidy, and she posted this vile video that I will show you. She is a social worker for the Legal Aid BC. And on their account, it says LABC denounces offensive content circulating online. They call her a former employee.
Charlie Kirk got Finally, somebody with a gun. Almost everybody in the AIDS grew a pair and went and on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep this up, please?
This is Jacoby Williams, and he is a Marine officer recruiter. He posted another blank man popped. The update is he has been fired, allegedly. This is Joanna Scavender, and she said, "May you never find rest and always suffer in eternity, Charlie Kirk. That's karma," and she works for the Cleveland Heights University as an intervention specialist. I have so many more of these to come, so stay tuned for part 6.
So there are reports that a number of people, and the recent article I saw was 30, I'm sure there'll be more, people getting fired for posting posts either celebrating or being sympathetic to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Is that legal? Hi, I'm Tom Spiegel with the Spiegel Law Firm. We represent people who've been fired or afraid that they might be. So we've seen this increasingly over the years, people getting fired for their speech or activities out of work, whether it's, MAGA folks, or now we see people who are not sympathetic to Charlie Kirk, to say the least, posting and getting terminated from their jobs. And the answer is, in most instances, it is perfectly legal. If you don't work for the federal government or a state government, you don't have First Amendment free speech rights. Your employer can fire you for your speech. There are some limited exceptions if you are engaged in what's called concerted activities, or you're raising issues of workplace safety or wages or things that again are about the workplace itself. Then it makes it illegal for you to be fired. The National Labor Relations Act, Section 7, makes it illegal for you to be fired, and that could include out-of-work speech and things that you say on social media. But if you're just out there, celebrating his assassination, and your employer doesn't like it, then it's perfectly legal for your employer to fire you. So be careful what you say. If you work for the federal government, state governments, in some instances, you do have some limited First Amendment protections, but it is not absolute. So if you're saying things that could be disruptive in the workplace, and it can still be legal for you to be terminated. So be careful what you're posting online. I think the one exception, again, is if you were to say something related to, to his murder, related to your workplace. So, hey, management, people are talking about this at work. Some people are really angry at me because they think that I supported, this activity, and I feel unsafe. I mean, that would be protected speech. But if you're just out there posting on TikTok or Facebook, and certainly celebrating his death or indicating that you think he had it coming and your employer doesn't like it and wants to fire you, that is perfectly legal. So be careful what you're doing out there on social media. You have free speech rights, but you don't have the right to keep your job if your employer doesn't like what you're saying or think it disrupts the workplace. So be careful out there, guys.
Isn't this a reason why kissing the boss's ass kind of became a thing in companies, where people purposely decided that they would suck up to the boss or try and be that thing that they knew the people who hold positions of power liked, in order to be in better favor. And so if the idea is that there are people out there who will say whatever it takes because they know that's what their boss wants to hear, even if it's not who you really are, but you're going to do it and you're going to, matter of fact, dramatize it or exaggerate it as a way to elevate yourself and gain more opportunities. The same thing exists in reverse, where if you say the wrong things, where if you offend the wrong people, then that could put you in a position where it removes you from those opportunities at minimum, and at worst removes you completely from that job.
Hold on, let me get it together here. My name is Luna, activist teacher, and I teach 4th grade in Florida. It's already been such a hard year having to deal with everything that Ron DeSantis makes me do, like teach math. I am currently on administrative leave, and my principal has told me that I will most likely not be returning back to the classroom. All because I celebrated the murder of a misogynistic, racist, xenophobic fascist. Just to be clear, all I did was post a video where I was dancing and saying that he got what he deserved while pouring out a beer. I was also wearing a graphic t-shirt that depicted the moment that he died. And then I said his kids are better off without him. Really, really not that bad. And they're taking away my rights for free speech. And to think that I had at least 7 LGBTQ plus students in my classroom, and I know they need me. This is just so unfair.
Getting your coworkers fired for making fun of Charlie Kirk, that's not just okay, it is morally ethical. It is your moral duty to get your libtard coworkers immediately fired. It's your duty to say that you feel unsafe in the workplace. It's your duty to say they're creating a hostile working environment. It's your duty to put that into writing and get them on the door. No, that's cancel culture, which they believe is a good thing, but only when it happens to you. That's fascinating. There is no moral equivalence. They want you fired to harm your family. They want you fired because it will materially make your family worse and harm the ones you love. When you get these people fired, Hassan Piker loses a subscription. When you get these people fired, Zoran Momdami loses a $75 donation. When you get these people fired, a Funko Pop goes unpurchased. There is no ethical way for these people to be employed. These people are not starting families. These people are not raising children. Every single dollar they receive is like putting a dollar into a furnace of evil.
Hospital in Oklahoma, they got the rainbow up there. Gentle care. Gentle care is what they're supposed to be all about. Gentle care. And yet the owner of this animal hospital tweeted something, and this young man put it right here in the parking lot in the open field right next to the animal hospital, so that everybody that brings their dogs or cats to this vet or even drives by can see this. You got to see what this young man Devin did. Look at this. This is the actual tweet of the owner of this place. Gentle Care Animal Hospital. Charlie Kirk, right-wing, stupid F, MAGA activist, shot unalived in Utah campus. He's only the first. Are you freaking kidding me? Could we actually be getting smart and culling the sick ones? Oh gosh, I want to offer his family my thoughts and prayers with the middle finger. Yeah, that's what this guy, Christopher Rispoli, the owner of that place, Gentle Care Animal Hospital, has said. So, I saw that, and I said I need to come down here and meet the man that put this together, and it's Devin, right?
Yes.
Devin put this together. Devin, you saw this pretty disgusting tweet from the owner of this place.
Did.
And you did something about it.
Did.
Why'd you do that?
I felt it needed done. Somebody had to do it, and rather than talk about it, I just did it.
And when I first came up and asked you about it, you said something about free speech. You said it perfectly. I want you to share what you said.
Free speech is free, but it does still have consequences.
Boom! There is consequences. You own a business, supposed to be taking care of people's pets, and you're glorifying and promoting the murder of one of my friends. Charlie was my friend. I've known him for 10 years. It's disgusting. He was a human being. He was a father. He was a husband. this gentle.
I'll be damned if I see another person that got fired from their job for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death come and about the fact that they lost their job, as if Charlie Kirk didn't lose his life for his opinion. Are we for real? Losing your job is nothing compared to what Charlie lost. Lose your pig meat. What I really want you to see is the fact that you don't think you should lose your job over the opinions that you have. Spit it out! Yet you think it's okay for Charlie to die over the opinions he had. What? You people are living contradictions. You can always get a better job. You can always fix yourself, heal yourself, change your opinion, do whatever because you're alive. You are spitting. There's no more mistakes Charlie Kirk can make. He can't change his mind on any opinions that you might have thought he was wrong about because his life was ended. All of y'all were saying, oh my God, it's karma, that's why he got shot. You don't think you accumulated any bad karma after you celebrated someone dying? Y'all are tweaking. Hopefully the love of Jesus Christ heals that heart of yours.
Hopefully this situation teaches people on both sides, because this isn't the first time a situation that has divided people so much has occurred, and it will definitely not be the last. But hopefully it teaches people that just because you feel like you're so right in this emotion, this feeling, this thing that you believe in your heart to be true, doesn't actually mean that you're right. And even if you do happen to be right, doesn't mean that you have to then voice it and share it with the entire world, because everybody will not feel the same way as you. And when you're in a position as a business owner who depends on the outside public for business, and so you don't maybe want to offend people who end up being your customers, or you work for a company and you don't know what your bosses and your boss's bosses, where they stand on every topic, because when the bills are due, all your accounts are overdrawn, the credit cards are maxed out, you don't know where you're going to get the funds from. Was it worth it you saying your piece when you may not even have somewhere you're going to be able to live in the next 30 days? Anyway, guys, questions, comments, thoughts, and your feedback, drop them down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget, you enjoy any part of the content, smash the like button for more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.